UB Pravin Rao, my colleague Chandra Srikanth is in conversation with him. Remember, he's not just the NASSCOM chairman, but also Infosys COO. So let's take it across to that conversation.
Economic recovery. Anything that prevents free movement of talent or access to talent will only be detrimental.
Right. So I also wanted to understand, can you quantify the impact that this is likely going to have? Will it mean that the cost of doing a business might go up, or will it mean that clients will be more open to offshoring more work? At the end of the day, what will this mean? And, how are IT companies going to accommodate people who were on these visas who may not be able to go back and work in the US?
I think, there are two or three things, right? One is obviously, if you have good talent outside US, obviously clients will start trying to leverage the talent. So this may mean more offshoring, number one. Second one is, again, anyway, today with travel restrictions and visa processing has literally come to a halt in the last couple of months, right? And not sure when it will resume. And even when it resumes, the processing may take some time. So in the next 6 months, anyway, you will not see too much of movement of talent anyway because of these reasons anyways. So it's at this stage, it's very difficult to estimate any impact or anything. In the short term anyway, even without this ordinance, for any increasing needs, if we didn't have talent offshore, because we simply couldn't send talent from India, either you had to do it working offshore, or you had to move work offshore, or you had to rely on local hiring or local subcontractors. So that thing will probably continue for the next few months anyway. This ordinance is anyway in effect till end of December, and they will probably review it at the end of it. My own sense is better sense will prevail. End of the day, as you rightly said, well, the impact is minimal because most companies have de-risked their business model. But I think it's in the larger interest if mobility of, if there's no restriction on mobility of talent, it makes things very useful, and it will only be positive to the growth of the economy.
Right. The big trigger is, of course, going to be the US presidential election. So while Trump has signed this off till the end of the year, are you hopeful that they might bring down the duration, or this might be suspended altogether once a new president comes in, or is this going to be the tone going forward? What kind of eventualities are you preparing for at this point?
No, right now it is on till December end, but for starting September 21st or something, they'll start relooking at it and they may make some modifications. So our hope is that better sense will prevail, and they will probably try to modify it or limit it to maybe 3 months or so. That's something we hope so. But it's difficult to say, at the end of it, whether Trump continues, new president coming in, whether it will make any impact or not. But net, I think once the impact of lack of access to critical skills is felt, and it doesn't really create too much change in the overall unemployment rate, I think better sense will prevail and they may start relooking at
it. Right. So net, what you're saying is, there were anyway travel restrictions, so people were not looking to send talent anywhere. B, companies have enabled remote working, and C, local hiring has gone up in the last 4 years. So it's not going to have a major impact for any of the players. Is that the conclusion, sir? Is it a non-event from that perspective?
No, I would not call it a non-event. In the short term, yes. Short term, the reality is it would have been difficult to send talent anyway, given all the restrictions. But as I said, in the medium to long term, free access because there will always be kind of work which would call for closer collaboration, people working together in customer sites. There'll be some activities which would call for more at office, or whereas a lot of activities could possibly be done remotely as well. Studies after studies have shown the economic benefit of highly skilled non-immigrant.
Okay, that's the word coming in from the NASSCOM chief on how this entire H-1B visa cancellation issue is really going to pan out.